It's already been well over a decade, but back in 2007, Nike flew me out to Los Angeles to work the first ever Kobe Bryant Skills Academy. Nike brought in the top high school and college players from around the country for an intense 3-day mini camp with the best player in the world. And I don't know how many of your listeners follow basketball closely, but they do need to know that in 2007, Kobe was the best player in the game. Well, as I told you all earlier, basketball was my first identifiable passion. And having grown up in this basketball bubble, I had always heard the urban legend of how insanely intense Kobe's individual workouts were. Well, now that I was on his camp staff, I figured this was my chance. This was my shot. So at my earliest opportunity, I walked up to Kobe and asked if I could watch one of his private workouts. He was incredibly gracious and smiled and said, "Sure, man, no problem. I'm going tomorrow at 4." And I got a little bit confused because I had just got done looking through the camp schedule, and the camp schedule clearly said that the first workout with the players was the following day at 3:30. Well, Kobe recognized that confused look on my face, and he clarified that with, "Yeah, that's 4 a.m.
Wow.
Well, I wasn't smart enough or quick enough to come up with a reason on why I couldn't be somewhere at 4 in the morning. So I'd committed myself to being there. And I figured if I'm going to be there anyway, I may as well try and impress Kobe. I may as well show him how serious of a trainer I was. So I came up with the plan to beat him to the gym. So I set my alarm for 3 a.m. The alarm goes off. I jump up. I get myself dressed. I hop in a cab and I head to the gym. And when I arrive, it's 3:30 in the morning. So it's pitch black outside. And yet the moment I step out of the cab, I can see that the gym lights are already on. From the parking lot, I can faintly hear a ball bouncing and sneakers squeaking. When I walked in the side door of the gym, Kobe was already in a full sweat.
Oh my!
He was going through an intense warm-up before his scheduled workout with his trainer started at 4. Out of professional courtesy, I didn't say anything to him. I didn't say anything to his trainer. I just sat down to watch. And for the first 45 minutes, I was shocked. For the first 45 minutes, I watched the best player in the world do the most basic footwork and offensive moves. Kobe was doing stuff that I had routinely taught to middle school age players. Now, let's not get it twisted. This was Kobe Bryant. So he was doing everything at an unparalleled level of intensity. He was doing everything with surgical precision. But the stuff he was doing was incredibly basic. Well, his whole workout lasted a few hours, and when it was over, once again, I didn't say anything to him. I didn't say anything to his trainer. I just quietly left. But my curiosity eventually got the best of me, and I had to know. So later that day at camp, I went up to him and said, "Kobe, I don't understand. You're the best player in the world. Why are you doing such basic drills?" And he smiled, and he said with all seriousness, "Why do you think I'm the best player in the world? Because I never get bored with the basics." I never get bored with the basics. Kobe Bryant, the best player on the planet and someone that has truly mastered his craft, said his secret was that he never gets bored with the basics. And as obvious as that may sound to your listeners right now, that was a life-changing lesson for me. It was at that moment that I realized that just because something's basic, it doesn't mean that it's easy. Those are not synonyms, and yet people often use those words interchangeably. Just because it's basic doesn't mean it's easy. If it was easy, everyone else would be doing it. And as you know, we're often told that we can skip steps, that we should be looking for some type of shortcut or hack. But anytime we do that, we're making a huge mistake because the basics work. They always have, and they always will.